to Siem Reap, which is where Angkor Wat is, which is a big temple, wonderful complex, very interesting. But I have another friend in Cambodia who helped us with this trip, and he'd lined us up to stay with a family in Cambodia in a place called Madam Bang. In order to get from Siem Reap to Madam Bang, you have to cross a lake called the Tony Sap. Tony Sap is a very interesting lake because it goes from 30 miles wide to 90 miles wide when the Mekong River backs up into it. We'd never been on anything like this, and we had to cross. And there's a normal ferry. It's not a tourist ferry. It's a normal. You get on this thing and you go from one side to the other. It's supposed to take 2.5 hours. So we didn't make reservations. We had a cab drop us at the ferry boat, and we took the little walkway up to the ferry, and off we went. Well, the Tony Sap, the lake has 50,000 people living on it, full time. These people live on boats, fish all the time. They get their groceries. We saw schools. We saw people with television sets. It was a most interesting day. We would cruise along, and we'd come alongside a boat, and there'd be this boat, and there'd be this black and white TV set with about a dozen batteries hanging there, and they'd be watching Worldwide Wrestling. That was the #1 show that the Cambodians like to watch on this lake. We thought that was absolutely fascinating. We'd go a little further, and there'd be some kid that would want to get a few dollars, and the boat wasn't real fast, so he'd paddle up, and he'd paddle up in a wash tub, or he'd paddle up in anything bigger than that, and they'd come out for a few dollars. And they were always smiling and laughing, and it was a most interesting trip from that point of view. The other interesting thing that happened was, we got in the top of the boat initially, and they didn't want to do that because overbalanced load. They made us all get in the back of the boat. So Louise and I got in the back of the boat, and right next to us was a French couple, without a doubt, the most beautiful girl I've ever seen in my life. Now that to me is somewhat distracting. So probably didn't see all the boat ride. Also, my wife kept going and like, look over here. So it was interesting. So we're chugging along, and of course it's absolutely fascinating to go along, and you're seeing all these people, and you're seeing all these boats, but we started noticing the boat was going a little bit slower. And we kind of wondered why the boat was going a little bit slower. And the boat's about 60 feet long, and there's people all the way up, and we're in the back, and the engine's in the middle, and the gas was in front. So slower and slower we went. And all of a sudden, the boat stopped. Well, at this point, we're getting a little concerned because, I can see cobras coming alongside, and all these reeds are there, and we're going through. It was a very, not real deep place, and there was reeds and there was marsh. So what happened was the gas line between the engine here and the gas up here had somehow gotten clogged up, and they had to fix it. So they called ahead, and they stopped at a little embankment someplace, and they got a gas can full of gas and a little siphon to fix it. So they're fixing this, and there's people waiting for us at the other end, by the way. People that we were going to stay with for a couple of days in Madam Bang. The Cambodians were waiting at the other end. So they start to fix this thing, and they're working on it, and we're a little concerned, but I mean, it's a quiet day, and it's not very ruffled, and there's a pretty girl beside me. We had a few snacks. And so they finally got the little siphon and put it in the engine and got the gas running and fiddled around with it, turned the thing, and off goes the engine. Oh, this is good. The engine is running, and we started chugging along a bit more. But then what happened was the gas can was right in front of this guy. He just put the siphon in there, and he pulled out a cigarette pack. Oh. And I said to Louise, we're going to have to jump off this boat. Because this boat's going to explode. Now, of course, I'm ADD, so I see like this, I see everything, and I'm always doing this. I'm always looking. So very few other people saw what was really going on. But I said that to Louise. I said, we're going to have to jump off this boat. So the guy stood there, and he pulled his matches out, pulled his cigarette out, put it in his mouth, and he lit it. And the cigarette lit just fine. And nothing happened. But I mean, it scared me half to death. So we're coming along and we get into shore and everything is going okay, except that we're 2.5 hours late. And I'm wondering, how are we going to find these people that have never seen us from a bar of soap? And we're 2.5 hours late. So we get up on shore, and we're running around and looking, and all of a sudden these other people are looking, and they find us. And we found them, and we got in their car, and off we went. But over that last 4.5 hours, which should have been 2.5 hours, that was one of the more interesting boat rides I had, and I thought I'd tell you about this one.